Hello friends, welcome to yet another video in a series of videos where we discuss about previous year NEET JEE question paper. If you have not watched my previous videos, do consider watching it. The links are in the description below. My name is Naveen Kumar and you're watching my YouTube channel. In today's video, we will do a question from a previous year JEE question paper, which is a question connected to +1 chapter called System of Particles and Rotational Motion. This video can be a little lengthier, but it's worth watching it. So without wasting any time, let's get started. Let's analyze this question properly. A thin circular plate of mass m and radius r has its density varying as rho of r is equal to rho naught of r, with rho naught as constant and r is the distance from its center. Center of what? Center of this circular plate, which is shown here. Okay. The moment of inertia of the circular plate about an axis perpendicular to the plate and passing through its edge is I is equal to mr square, which is given to us. The value of coefficient A is what? That means you have to find out the value of A. We have to include m and r square. What is m? M is the mass of the disk, which is mentioned here, and r is the radius of the disk, which is also mentioned. Okay, but mass, even though mass, the total mass is given as m, the density is not a constant, but it varies with respect to distance. With respect to distance, that is from the axis of rotation. Options are given as 8 by 5, 3 by 2, 3 by 5 and 1 by 2. Okay, so let's analyze this question and try to draw a figure for this, for a circular disk which is there here. This is your circular disk, and let's find out the center. The center will be, let's imagine that this is the center. So if I draw the axis of rotation of this particular disk, if I draw the axis of rotation will pass through the center of the disk. This is, the disk is totally rotating, with respect to the center. So that if I call this axis as the y-axis, I can mention this as the y-axis, so that I can mention it as moment of inertia about the y-axis, right? Okay, and we are told to find out the moment of inertia of the circular plate about an axis perpendicular to the plate and passing through its edge. Okay, perpendicular to the plate, that is, this is the plate, and you have to find out the moment of inertia passing through its edge. Which is the edge? Let's call this as the edge, so that we have to find out the moment of inertia passing through the edge of the disk. But if we analyze this, we can find out this particular axis is parallel to the axis which is passing through the center of the disk. Okay, so that let's imagine what is the distance between these two axes. These two axes will be r, right? Okay, so for the time being, I'm rubbing this calculation to find out the value of A. I first have to find out a small disk. I have to draw in a small disk, which we first have to find out the moment of inertia of that small disk, and then we have to include it to the total disk. So that let's analyze this question. For that, I'll draw a small disk around this particular center, and I mention a small area around this. Okay, I'm taking this particular area. Okay, so that if I can put in some attributes for this particular area, I can say that the thickness of this can be written as a small value of r, that we can call it as dr. Okay, the thickness is dr, and the distance of the disk from the small portion of the disk from the axis of rotation, let's imagine that value is small letter r. This value is a small letter r. Okay, right, that's a small letter r. So we first have to find out the moment of the mass of the small disk, and then we go on to find out the moment of the small disk, and then extend the value to the bigger disk. Then we just have to put in the axis, the parallel axis theorem. we put in the parallel access theorem, then only we will be able to find out the final value of moment of inertia passing through the this particular axis, which we can call it as moment of inertia passing through the y dash axis. Okay, right, let's do that. For that, we first have to mention what is that mention which is given there. Density is given. What is the density given? Density is a function which is density is a variable which is varying with respect to the position r. That means from this r is the distance from the axis of rotation. That is the axis of rotation. Axis of rotation is this is the axis of rotation. Okay, right. So then we just have to find out what is the small area of the small portion of the disk. Why we have to find out is the density is given. If you multiply the density with a small area, you get the small mass of the disk. And to find out the total mass of the disk, why we have to find out the total mass of the disk? Why? Because in the final answer we require the total mass of the disk, so that we first find out the area of the small portion of the disk. Area of a small portion of the disk. Small portion of the disk. Portion of the disk. I hope you can follow it. Yes, is equal to, what is it? I call this particular small particular distance as r, so that I can call this as 2 pi r. 2 pi r is the equation for circumference multiplied by the thickness of it. What was the thickness? The thickness was dr according to this mention which is over here. Okay, now this is the area of the small portion of the disk. Now we have to find out what is the mass of that small portion of the disk. Mass of the small portion of the disk. I'm giving it the do, so that you can actually note it down. What is that? Mass is equal to density multiplied by area. What is the density which is given and mentioned here? That is the density. Density is rho naught multiplied by r multiplied by the area, which is 2 pi r dr. If I can mention it properly, I can put it as 2 pi rho naught r square dr. I hope you are following it. Right? We have actually found out the mass of the small disk. Now if I want to find out the total mass of the disk, which is very important, total mass of the disk will be the total mass of the disk. What I can do to find out the total mass of the disk, I can extend this particular mass from the center, that is this reference line Iy, to the end of the disk. So if I want to analyze this, I can use a small disk. You can see over here. Let's imagine that this is the disk, and this disk is rotating with this axis passing through the center. Okay, let's imagine that this is my plate, so that you better understand that better. So that this is rotating, the disk is rotating with this as the axis of rotation. Now if this is the axis of rotation, we are told to find out the moment of inertia passing through one end and parallel to this particular axis of rotation, and the disk is rotating. Otherwise we cannot calculate the moment of inertia. Moment of inertia comes only if the disk is rotating. So we have to find out the moment of inertia passing through the side of the disk. That is what I actually do. For that, what we have done is we have taken a small part of this disk and we have found out the small portion of the mass of the disk. Okay, right. Then what we do is, to find out the total mass, we start integrating it from the center of the disk to the edge of the disk, giving you the total mass of the disk. So if we come back to the figure, so that what I have to do is I have to integrate it from 0 to r, right? And what is the mass? A small mass is 2 pi rho naught r square dr. Okay, so if I integrate it, I hope you know integration. If I integrate this, I'll get this value to be 2 pi is a constant, rho naught is a constant. Just have to integrate r square dr. You will get it as 2 pi rho naught r square dr will give you r cube by 3 from 0 to r. I hope you can follow it. So once you substitute this, you will get it as 2 by 3 pi rho naught into R cube, right? Okay, now what we have done is, this was a very important part. We require this at the final step, right? That is why I am putting it inside a bracket. So if I hope you can see this. We have calculated the mass of the disk to be 2 by 3 pi rho naught R cube. Okay, then we calculate the moment of inertia. To find out the moment of inertia, we first have to find out the moment of inertia of that small portion of the disk. Here we need to first find out the moment of inertia of the small portion of the disk. For that, we just have to take in what is the moment mass of the small portion of the disk that we have already calculated here. Mass of the small portion of the disk is this, multiplied by the position square. Okay, the position square. Then we have to extend it to the total disk running from 0, that is the reference line, and to the edge of the disk. Okay, so what we do is, right, now we have to find out the moment of inertia. Moment of inertia of the total disk passing through the y-axis. What is the y-axis? The y-axis, which is I've already shown it here. What is the y-axis? The y-axis is this. We first have to find out the moment of inertia passing through this axis for the total portion of the disk. For that, what we do is, we can write down that equation. Moment of inertia passing through the y-axis can be equal to, integrating it from 0 to r. I believe you can understand this. Then what is the mass of the small disk? 2 pi rho naught r square dr. That's the mass of the small disk, multiplied by the square of the distance between this particular point. I can show it to you. It means square of the distance from the axis of rotation to this point. That means we just have to find out the moment of inertia of the small disk and integrate it from 0 to capital R. Now if I want to find out the moment of inertia of the small disk, I have to multiply with the mass of that small disk multiplied by the position square, right? And then we have to integrate it. That means the thing which is inside the bracket is actually the moment of inertia of the small disk, and the position square, that is the position is r square. Then we have to integrate it from 0 to r. You will get the answer. If you integrate it, you will get the answer 2 pi by 5. Why? Because this will give you r square will give you r power 4. R power 4, when you integrate it, you will get r power 5 by 5. That 5 is this, right? Rho naught into r power 5. Okay, right. Now we have found out the total moment of inertia. The total moment of inertia passing through Iy, that is this. That is the moment of inertia passing through this particular axis. Now we have to shift the axis of rotation to this. For that, we require parallel axis theorem. If you want a dedicated video on parallel axis theorem, please put the comment below in the comment section so that I may be able to make a dedicated video on parallel axis theorem. So if I apply parallel axis theorem here, what I have to do is, the total moment of inertia passing through the y dash axis. If I need to find out, we first have to know the moment of inertia passing through the y axis plus the total mass of the disk multiplied by the distance through which you are shifting the axis. The distance through which you are shifting the axis. This was the axis. I have to shift this axis from here to here. That means the distance through which you are shifting it is actually r. So that you have to find out, you have to substitute that value as r square, but basically it has to come there as x k square. What is called k? K is called the radius of gyration. So you already know the value of Iy, which you have previously found out. Okay, what was the value of Iy? 2 pi by 5, which you have already found out here. 2 pi by 5 r naught, rho naught, r power 5 plus, what is the mass here? What is that mass? You have already calculated the total mass here. Then in place of this capital M, this particular capital M, I can substitute this here. Why? Because the other terms are in powers of 5. So what we can do is, I can substitute that value of mass and I can give it as 2 pi by 3 rho naught r power 3 multiplied by this value of r square, that is this value of r square. This is r square. This will give you a value giving you 2 pi by 3. You can take out the common value. If I take it, then also you can take rho naught as a common value multiplied by r cube into 3r square by 5. I hope you can follow this. Taking the common out, plus r square. So if I analyze this, why I have to take this out is, why? Because in the final answer we have already mentioned that here we have to give the mass. That's right. That is why we are actually forced to put in this particular thing. So what is that? This is capital M. Okay, into when you analyze this applying LCM, you will get it as 8r square by 5, which will give you 8 by 5 mr square. So the coefficient, if I can write it like this, what is the coefficient here? Coefficient is 8 by 5. So that the coefficient we have actually calculated here is 8 by 5, which is the right answer. If I go to the previous figure, I can find out the first value is the right answer. So if I want to summarize this, I first have to find out the mass of the small disk, and then I have to extend it to calculating the total mass of the disk. Okay, then we have to analyze how we can calculate the moment of inertia of the small part of the disk, and then we need to extend that moment of inertia to the entire disk. Once you've calculated the moment of inertia of the entire disk with its axis passing through the center, I need to shift this axis of rotation from that center to at the edge, which is probably have told it is perpendicular to the plane of the disk. Okay, for that we need to apply the parallel axis theorem. Then we analyzed it and found out the final value of the coefficient of mr square as 8 by 5. So 8 by 5 is the right answer. If you like my video, please give a thumbs up. If you are new to my channel, please do consider subscribing it and hit that bell icon so that you get all the notifications whenever I upload a new video for you. Until next time,